Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world at this time of the day. We are welcoming you to our session at the UN General Assembly Science Summit, presented to you by the GLOBE program. The name of our session is Fostering the Next Generation of STEM Professionals in Science Diplomacy. The GLOBE program is sponsored by NASA and supported by National Science Foundation in the US, NOAA, as well as US Department of State. The GLOBE program is one of the world leaders in environmental science diplomacy through education. So what is environmental science diplomacy through education? It is a joint effort to strengthen collaborations among nations in science and engineering education to address common problems and build strong international partnerships to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Environmental science diplomacy education is making a great progress in primary, secondary, post-secondary education, and higher education around the world. And we put emphasis on two UN Sustainable Development Goals. You can see those on the slide. Goal number 4, quality education, and goal number 17, partnerships for the goals. On this world map, you can see the GLOBE program regions around the world and their commitments to all sustainable development goals. We will talk about this in more detail during the presentation. It gives me a very great pleasure to introduce our presenters and my colleague as a moderator of this session. So it's a pleasure to introduce Dr. Tony Murphy, who is a director of the GLOBE Program Implementation Office in North America region. And it's a great pleasure to introduce my co-moderator, Dr. Michael Jabot, who is a State University of New York professor, distinguished professor, also GLOBE North American region. And my name is Larisa Schelkin. I am also representing the GLOBE Program North America region, and I am a CEO of a global STEM education center in Massachusetts. Again, we have a wonderful distinguished speakers today, starting from Dr. Tony Murphy, who, as I said, a director, Global Implementation Office, the GLOBE Program North America region. The next speaker is Miss Yapaporn Lapla from Institute for the Promotion of Teaching Science and Technology, IPST, Thailand. She is representing the GLOBE program Asia and Pacific region. Also, it's a pleasure to introduce the next speaker, Ella Poloshinska-Vishnevska from United Nations Environmental Program GREED Warsaw Center in Poland, representing Europe and Eurasia region of the GLOBE program. And next speaker is Dr. Martha Kingsland, who is a professor at the University of Business and Social Science in Buenos Aires, Argentina, representing the GLOBE program region in Latin America and Caribbean. We have 3 more distinguished speakers who is a pleasure to introduce. Miss Nadira Ahmed Al-Harti from Ministry of Education in Oman, representing the GLOBE program, Near East and North Africa region. Next speaker, it's a pleasure to introduce Dr. Kevin Tchaikovsky, who is a professor at University of Toledo, representing the GLOBE program in North America region. And last and not least, it's a great pleasure to introduce Madam Ngozi Folbuso, who is the professor at SVT Lycée Saidana Limamolai, representing from Senegal, representing the GLOBE program African region. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce you all to Dr. Tony Murphy, who is the director, GLOBE Implementation Office, USA, GLOBE Region North America. Dr. Murphy, the floor is yours.
Great. Well, thank you, Larissa, and thank you for making this presentation possible. And thanks to everybody who's joining us here today. And I'm going to give a brief introduction to the GLOBE program before the panel takes the rest of the floor. So if we could have the next slide, please. So this is an infographic about the countries involved in GLOBE. We have 126 countries divided into the 6 regions that you can see here on the slide. And those 6 regions are Africa, Asia and Pacific, Europe and Eurasia, Near East and North Africa, Latin America and Caribbean, and North America. And each of the panelists is from one of those regions. And so they're going to talk about how they use GLOBE to meet some of the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals that their countries have taken responsibility for. But first, let's learn about what GLOBE is. So if we could have the next slide. What is the GLOBE program? Well, GLOBE is an acronym that means the Global Learning and Observations to Benefit the Environment. It's an international science and education program that was announced in 1994. GLOBE began its operations on Earth Day 1995. Today, the international network has grown to over 127 countries, as I said, divided into those 6 regions. And the program provides the students and the public worldwide with the opportunity to participate in data collection and the scientific process, as well as contributing meaningfully to our understanding of the Earth system and the global environment. And GLOBE is funded by NASA with additional support from NOAA, NSF, and the Department of State. And when a country joins GLOBE, it gets access to the infrastructure that's being created by these agencies. And in turn, it funds the implementation of the program in its own country. Next slide. So the current state of GLOBE, just to give you an update, as I said, there's 127 countries in the program. There's over 40,000 teachers. There's almost 40,000 schools involved. There's almost 240,000 GLOBE observers, and these are the citizen scientists who use the GLOBE Observer app that was introduced by the program back in 2016. We have an amazing number of measurements in our database, almost 230 million measurements that have been contributed by students and GLOBE observers from all around the world. And on a monthly basis, we gain over 1 million measurements. You can see that on September 12th, we had 712,000 measurements for the month of September. By the end of September, that will be over 1 million measurements. Pretty amazing number of measurements. And then also some of the other interesting numbers about the program. We've had 6 GLOBE learning expeditions, and learning expeditions are scientific conferences built especially for students to present their research to their peers, as well as scientists in the program and educators and other members of the GLOBE program. There are also 5 working groups that are created from representatives from all 6 regions, and the 5 working groups are created around important elements of the program, such as diversity, equity, and inclusion, education, evaluation, science and technology. And then there's one working group that focuses on the US. We publish a lot of materials. We publish student research reports that students submit to the program, and also some STAR and STEM stories that focus on the incredible work that's being done by people involved in the program all around the world. Next slide, please. And so over the 6 regions, this is just to show you again the breakdown on the number of schools, teachers, pre-service teachers, as well as students, alumni that have been involved with the program and continue to be involved in the program, and then Globe observers as well. Next slide, please. We have a number of key partnerships in the program, and one of these is with UNEP. And NASA and UNEP announced an agreement in August of 2019 to cooperate on environmental education and training, citizen science, and the collection and distribution of data. And they work together to increase the awareness of and promote the use of GLOBE data by the international science community by leveraging UNEP's Global Resource Information Database, or GRID, through their centers and publications. And then, as in addition to this, GLOBE and UNEP will share education and training resources for distribution to their individual networks and promote closer collaboration of UNEP regional offices with GLOBE countries and with the GLOBE regional coordination offices. Next slide. And then because the program has been around since 1995, it's won various recognition and awards. One of the first of these was in 2004 from the Goldman Sachs Foundation, and it was the Goldman Sachs Award for International Education. And it received this award for being an outstanding program that makes use of media technology to educate students or teachers about other world regions and cultures or international issues. And then more recently in 2021, the program won the American Geophysical Union's, or AGU's, 2021 Excellence in Earth and Space Science Education Award. And this is really a testament to the work of the GLOBE community and all of the folks involved in supporting the community to really do the incredible work that is being done by the community worldwide. And then individual countries also receive recognition. And I just wanted to point out that Estonia in the Europe and Eurasia region won 5 awards in 2021 for their work in using GLOBE in a number of different ways. And you can see the awards listed here on the slide. Next slide, please. And then finally, what we're talking about here today, of course, is GLOBE and the Sustainable Development Goals, and how GLOBE can help achieve these through various implementation. And each region representative that will follow me will tell their story of how GLOBE has helped them to achieve and implement the SDGs in their countries. We're going to show you a number of different cases across the 6 regions. They're going to vary from mosquito larvae distribution to urban temperatures, and how folks have analyzed the data to investigate the numbers of adult mosquitoes with vector-borne diseases to increasing urban temperatures as part of the urban heat island effect. And then in addition, one of the things that we're going to use today is a video clip from a series that we're producing called Agents of Change, which shows the impact of the program and its impact on students around the world. The video clip that we're going to show today is from the Near East and North Africa region, and it looks at the use of GLOBE to encourage girls in science. And so it helps meet SDG 5, which is gender equality. And so we're going to show you a video clip that shows the support of GLOBE in getting girls and females interested in science in that region. So I invite you to sit back and learn about and also enjoy these great examples of how GLOBE is being used to implement and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What an amazing program. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Murphy. And with that, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce again and give the floor to Miss Yapaporn Lapla, who is a specialist in science education from Thailand, representing GLOBE region Asia and Pacific. Just a couple words about IPST and the GLOBE Thailand. IPST is the Institute for the Promotion of Teaching Science and Technology that was established by the support of the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, under the Ministry of Education Thailand by virtue of the Institute for the Promotion of Teaching Science and Technology by the Act BE 2541 in 1998, which was amended in BE 2548 in 2005 in the second issue. An autonomous agency in accordance with the regulations of the public administration and the budgetary procedures. Thailand joined the GLOBE program in September 30th, 1999. It was the 23rd GLOBE Thailand. With that, it gives me a great pleasure to give the floor to Miss Yapaporn Lapla. Miss Lapla, take it away.
Why Thailand joined the GLOBE program? On the left-hand side, you will see GLOBE help meet two strategy of national strategy of Thailand. First is the strategy for human capital development and strengthening for improving learning process to accommodate change in the 21st century, especially improving the efficiency of educational management system at all levels. The second strategy is a strategy for eco-friendly development and growth, aim to improve the paradigm for determining the country's future, focus on environmental awareness aspect. In the midterm is the GLOBE strategic plan. There are many strategies that GLOBE promote student knowledge, skill, and competency. The strategy that I would like to highlight are student investigation. Students can develop high quality STEM investigation. Please back to the last slide, please. Of system phenomena from a local to global scale perspective, such as International Virtual Science Symposium, or we call IVSS. I mean, go to the strategic page. I think number 15. Number slide 17, please. Okay. For science project, to increase the number of projects focused on environmental awareness and contributing to environmental benefit. The last one that I would like to highlight is interactions and collaboration, to increase interaction and collaboration among local, regional, and international GLOBE community to events. On the right-hand side, GLOBE can support many sustainable development goals, as Dr. Tony said. Next slide, please. For this slide shows the overview of GLOBE Thailand. What we do GLOBE in Thailand at school and national level. IPST conduct science camp for students and teachers and collaborate with university network to organize GLOBE teacher training workshop. Then for the implementation, students use GLOBE protocol to collect data and do GLOBE data entry. Next, they analyze, do research report, and share their research results to the community. IPST organized platform for school to share their research project. First is a GLOBE student research competition for, or we call GLOBE SRC. This platform is for GLOBE students to share their research project. Second, Thailand Junior Water Prize or TJWP. This platform is for the innovation for solving water issue and water conservation student project. The winner will join Stockholm Junior Water Prize. The last platform is for teacher. We call GLOBE Thailand Teacher Shining Star, or we call GLOBE TSS. This platform is for GLOBE teachers to share their work and best practice. The GLOBE students will have opportunity to share their research with other schools in the Asia Pacific region and global level in IVSA that GIO conduct and GLOBE annual meeting as well. Next, please. To achieve the GLOBE Thailand goal, one of the important key is we have strong GLOBE Thailand network. Since 2005 until now, we have 25 universities all over the country. We organize GLOBE trainer workshop to promote common understanding of GLOBE protocols among teachers, researchers, scientists, and educators. IPST has been supported and collaborated with these trainers. They act as scientists or facilitators to support and help their school network for doing environmental research in their local area. Next, please. These are the GLOBE instruction media that developed by IPST. The first one is Earth System Science, or we call ESS. ESS aims to promote the learning about the environment in a scientific manner by doing research in their local area. The student will develop a body of knowledge, analytical thinking process, and holistic systematic thinking, problem solving and decision making skill, information technology, communication, and teamwork skill. There are so many skills that students can develop themselves. Students can apply GLOBE protocols such as atmosphere, hydrosphere, pedosphere, and biosphere for collecting data and doing their research project. The second one is climate change learning activity. It's aimed to promote student learning about climate, impact of climate change, and adaptation and mitigation of climate change. There are student book and teacher guide for upper primary level and lower secondary level. We develop this learning activity by applying GLOBE protocol such as air temperature protocol, cloud protocol, and mosquito protocol. On the right-hand side, you will see the globe medias. IPST produced this media for teacher training workshop and providing to school for their implementation in school. These media can support the SDG good health and well-being for mosquito protocol and SDG 13 for climate change in education aspect. Next, please. I would like to share the success project in Thailand that could help to decrease the mosquito-borne disease, which support the SDGT for good health and well-being. In 2018 to 2020, IPST conduct the Zika education and prevention project in Thailand. We received a partial grant from GIO. First step, IPST and IPST collaborate with 13 universities, organize mosquito habitat mapper observation training workshop, and more than 9,000 participants, including students, teachers, and their parents, join the workshop. Then they collect data and do globe data entry. As you can see at the map, it is the mosquito habitat data from 2018 to September 2022. Next, please. The last step, students do their research and implementation to local community. Since 2018 until now, we have 30 research projects that related to the mosquito protocol that submit to Globe SRC in national level. T Research won the IVSS prize in global level. Students share their research results to the community and collaborate with public health officer to monitor and eliminate the mosquito breeding site. These activities help decrease number of cases of mosquito-borne disease and also support SDGT. I have a clip video to show about this project and their implementation in school. Once the video is finished, my colleague from Europe and Eurasia region, Era, will tell her SDG story. Please see the video. Thank you.
Sure, thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. So let's just see if technology will cooperate showing us the video with the sound from the embedded slide. If not, we have a plan B. We will show it to you from other sources. So making sure that you would enjoy this short clip. Please give me a hands up that you hear the sound. You don't?
No.
No? Maria said that it's okay. Let me show it again. And please, as you hear the sound, give me a thumbs up.
No sound.
Some of you giving me thumbs up and some of you giving me thumbs down. So let me see, what is the world consensus here? So, all right, let me stop the share and respect those who cannot hear it. So I will stop the share and we will come back to the slide number 24 in a few minutes. All right. And I would like to say you are an incredible audience and great presenters. You have such a huge patience in understanding for the technology challenges, which is a very good quality of everybody to be so patient. So let me see if I can share it with the sound. All right. It should work at this time. And again, you are incredible global audience. I think with this kind of consensus, we can solve all global problems. And again, I'm kindly asking you to give me a thumbs up if you see and hear it well. What a wonderful video. Thank you very much, Jabot, and thank you for your excellent presentation. And as you said, the next great presenter is Ella. And I will share a screen with you momentarily to go back to the slides. So, right, just give me just a second. All right, as I said, that you are incredible global audience. You're doing amazingly well, considering that we have more than 200 people from 35 different countries. My gosh, it's really fantastic. So, right, if you could please give me a thumbs up that you see the slides on your end. All
Yes,
right.
I also see it. So,
All right, Ella, the floor is yours. Yeah, and we really are thrilled to introduce Ella, who is the Director of Education and Geoinformation of UNEP Great Warsaw Center, Globe Country Coordinator for Poland, and Globe Region Europe and Eurasia. Take it away, Ella.
thank you so much. I'm really honored to be here today with you and to be able to talk a little bit about Globe in Poland and the activities we implement. So I represent UNEP Great Warsaw Center. We are an NGO affiliated by UNEP. So next slide, please. Thank you. Affiliated by UNEP, well, we have more than 30 years of our history, and since 1991 we've been implementing the mission of UNEP in Poland. So we try to support and inspire our partners on their way towards sustainable development. And in July 1987, we were assigned by the Ministry of Education as a Globe Country Coordinator for Poland. And since that, we've been doing our best to help support implementation of Globe in Poland. We are also, as UNEP Great Warsaw Center, the part of Science Division of the UNEP Global Group of Environmental Information Centers. So in our history, data collection and all geotechnologies were and still are a very important part. Thus, we are so into this technological part of Globe, and we are supporting it very, very much. We had a pleasure to be a part of technology working group within Globe program, and also we're providing our knowledge to help to develop this part of Globe program. So what about Globe in Poland? Next slide, please. We have over 200 schools and more than 4,000 students involved every year in our activities. We have about 250 teachers, and some of them are also previous Globe students. So people who started their adventure with Globe, and they love it so much that when they come back to schools as teacher, they decided also to invite their own students to work within the Globe program. We are also really proud because we have more than 2,000 active Globe observers. So those are people who are not really trained Globe user. I mean, they are trained, but they are somehow outside school communities. But they are so much involved in Globe. These are, for example, parents who support their children. Those are also a member of our business partners. I mean, workers who are interested in environmental issues, and they also support Globe activities. Our strategy, our vision of Globe in Poland is that young people, teachers, scientists, members of local communities, we've been all acting together for the greener, for the better future of our country, but also worldwide. So it means that we are also involved in Globe activities on the international level. Next slide, please. A few years ago, we also established a so-called partnership for common implementation of environment-related sustainable development goals. We wanted to support those partners, so partners from different sectors, from business, from administration, and also from education sector, who would like to link their activities somehow with SDGs. And in our case, these are 6 main SDGs that we are focused on. As you can see, we also have this SDGs number 11, which actually in our country is pretty important because more than 60% of people in Poland live in the cities. So this SDG is also really important, and my great colleague Kevin will tell more about activities related to that SDGs. But in our activities, we are also supporting SDGs 15, Life on Land, and this is the one I would like to tell more about today. So next slide, please. And I would like to give you an example of the activity which was implemented just a few months ago. So this is the Spring 2022 Tree High and Land Cover Intensive Observation Period. Intensive observation periods, these are the periods within Globe program which are dedicated to specific observations. So actually in this case it was a month which was in which we focused on the international level. We focused on 3 observations and land cover observations. This IOP was quite specific because it was initiated by our organization and also the student research campaign team, and it was open to everyone. So everyone interested, from students to educators to citizen scientists, were able to join. Actually, we also had some examples of families, of parents with their children who were just going on a trip and they were collecting their data. So the main goal was to encourage participants to collect tree data, particularly height of the tree and the perimeter, and also land cover observations. Of course, using traditional GLOBE protocols, which was mainly done by schools, but also NASA GLOBE Observer app. This is the one also mentioned by Tony. And as you can see in the picture, this app is very simple, it's picture-based, and it's open to everyone who would like to join GLOBE Observer and would like to provide data and support scientists and researchers. So I think you can directly go online and look at the app, because I think it's really great, and it can really help to collect data. And why this data is so important? Because the data collected in this IOP, this can be used by scientists, by researchers, those who are focused on, for example, climate change and ecosystem research. And this is pretty crucial. And this IOP was also special because it was supporting celebrations of the 50th anniversary of UNEP. So as you may know, this year we were celebrating this great anniversary, and thus we decided to show the link and the cooperation between GLOBE and UNEP. So that this activity, this campaign, was one of the examples of this great cooperation. Next slide, please. So some results. I think it's really great because we had really great amount of observations, which of course were collected and are stored in GLOBE program database. So as you can see, 26 countries were involved in tree height data collection, more than 2,500 observations. And we are really proud because a lot of this data comes from Poland and from our observers. And why it is so important also for us as UNEP Great Warsaw Center. It's pretty important because we are an organization supporting implementation of UNEP mission. So we try to provide links between the things going on the international, on the UN level, and also those which are implemented in our local level. So next slide, please. And one of those links which we really promote and we want to focus on is a UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, 2021-2030. This decade, this initiative is a great opportunity to focus on ecosystem restoration, and it means not only the recovery of ecosystem which have been degraded or destroyed, but it also means to look at the ecosystems around us and to support those which are somehow threatened. Maybe they are still there, they are still working somehow, providing us ecosystem services, water, clean air, food, clothes, and all the things we need because we really depend on nature. But on the other hand, those ecosystems can be threatened. And so through the IOP, for intensive observation period, we wanted to show how GLOBE community can support the activities going on during the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, and how young people can get involved in ecosystem observation and restoration. So next slide, please. And this is the clue. I can say this is the summary of this presentation. So this link between GLOBE and the GLOBE community and the activities going on the international UN level during the decade of ecosystem restoration. So first of all, young people involved in GLOBE, and not only young people, but all the people, all the GLOBE community, can work with so-called GLOBE bundled protocols. So not only collect one specific data, but also work with some more complex approach. So the protocols which are not focused on atmosphere, hydrosphere, pedosphere, but focused on specific type of ecosystem, for example, water bodies. And that way we collect data which are really important for research and restoration of this kind of ecosystems. On the other hand, for GLOBE activities, we provide continuous data collection. So we know, as scientists and researchers, we know why it is so important to have a lot of data and also continuous data collections. And through GLOBE, we can really provide us through this amount great of data collected by GLOBE community. It can really help to observe, to monitor ecosystem and the effectiveness of all the restoration activities. And last but not least, the young people can participate themselves in the restoration activities. So they not only collect data, but they also help to restore and to protect ecosystems they have all around them. And through that, we directly support SDGs 15, so life on land. Thank you very much. And I would like to hand the presentation over to my great colleagues, Marta. Thank you so much.
Yes, and I will ask Professor Jabot to introduce the next speaker, Marta Kingsland.
Sure. Marta Kingsland. We're very fortunate to have Marta here representing the Latin American and Caribbean region. Marta is from Argentina, and we're, again, very privileged to have her representing. Marta.
Thank you, Michael. Well, thank you so much to the GIO to give me the opportunity to represent my country and my region. And I wanted to explain a little more about how we implement the GLOBE program in Argentina. And at first, I wanted to say that we start in 1995 when the program was in the war, and we signed the agreement with the Minister of Education. And since this year, teachers from all schools, as private, public, are invited to participate in the program. And for that, we lead at least one workshop once a year. And as you can see, Argentina is a huge country. And actually, next please. Thanks. Actually, our metrics are, we have more than 202 schools, 518 teachers, at least 10,000 students, more than 500,000 of data entries. And in the last year, we have many citizen scientists that use the GLOBE Observer app, as Hela has explained. Here you can see that the GLOBE program is spread in general all the country. And our challenge is to promote more GLOBE program in other provinces that they are not presented. As you can see, in Antarctica is one school. It's the only school that is in Antarctic, because here Argentina has a base that with a school, and some students year by year can work on the program. And also, we at this year we have presented 40 student research reports that there are at the IBSS, that is virtual conference, science virtual conference, where the students can participate year by year. Next, please. Well, aligned to the GLOBE program, our goals in Argentina, and I think in all over the world, and also in my region, our goals are to generate the possibility for students to understand science at an early age. That's so important because science sometimes is very hard for students. And in GLOBE program gives the possibility to participate with very simple activities to understand how science can be approached. Other goal is to teach science from the practice. And that's an important aspect to the GLOBE program, because all the most important activities are doing at the field camp, at the field. Also promote activities in collaboration with other students and schools from different countries on inquiry-based investigation. We are talking about quality education. For that, that is so important, because we are preparing the student for this generation and the next generations. And some skills are important to develop for the future jobs and future activities. And the program, the GLOBE program, gives this possibility. Also participate in various scholarly activities, like science fairs. In each country, we have science fairs, virtual meetings, scientific campings, all that promote a quality of education. And actually, we have working on a collaboration activity about butterflies, and understand by the observation, try to understand the variables atmospherics that are important to understand the way of life of butterflies. This activity is, we are working in collaboration with teachers from Uruguay, Peru, and Argentina. And it is an example of a collaborative activity. Next, please. And now, our goal from GLOBE program and the SDH 4, that is quality education, is to understand how we can apply as a learning and development methodology that integrate science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And to promote the skills to a student to understand how to connect these different subjects. Is generally at each school in Argentina, we work on collaboration with different teachers and, of course, different subjects like geography, biology, mathematics, and we try to connect each activity and each observation with STEM. Here you can read the GLOBE strategic plan between 2018 and 2023 that said, developing and supporting activities for teachers and trainers, inquire, focus, and based on Earth system, science and science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This is one of the important goals in our program. And we know that the Earth is a health system, that all these spheres are integrated. For that, we know and we try to interest in the students and teachers to apply the different areas of STEM. And if you know, or after this presentation, you are trying to investigate more about the GLOBE program, you could see that there are activities that involve mathematics, as to measure the altitude of trees. Another is technology, because the students and teachers are working with the App Globe Observer. Science, because we work on protocols. And engineering, because sometimes the students have to build some specific, in some specific activities to understand more, for example, to prepare a pluviometer. And for that, we think, and I want to focus that from GLOBE program, we teach and learn science from the practice. Next, please. Here, I wanted to highlight how the GLOBE program from Argentina work on the STEM to promote the quality education. Organizing collaborative activities with the participation of different subject teachers, as I explained. Cooperative learning, understanding topics related to STEM, applying different GLOBE protocols. We all teachers and all students in all of the world work based on protocols, and that protocols are designed by scientists. For that, the GLOBE program is a program that englobe all the world, and we work in the similar way. Some examples that how we work in Argentina. Next, please. Here you can see how we work integrated STEM into the curriculum, and integrating the ODS into the curriculum, because in my country, and a very huge number of schools integrate and work with the ODS. And the goal is to generate projects based on learning. And as some of my colleagues express, that there is important because promote inquire, how to organize questions. And this is a difference to achieve equality in education. The idea is that they develop different goals about this process. Here you can see how a group of students, teachers, because as I mentioned it, we lead workshops, because it's so important to prepare teachers to implement a GLOBE at the school. And here in this image, teachers are looking how to implement protocols to observe clouds. In the center, there is a group of students that are working on the field, taking a sample from the river, and in the other, to the right, you can see how they are investigate or with a chemistry process, how is the if the water is pure, how is the oxygen and the alkalinity, etc. And in the next, please, next slide, thanks. You can see how the GLOBE program is implemented at school. Here are a group of students that are based on the protocol observing clouds. And in the center, there are a group of students that are working on the hydrosphere. And in the other, there are a group of students that have participated in a workshop about a mosquito habitat mapper. And in this part, they are working with art, presenting some posters about what they are learning. I want to highlight that the skills that we promote from the GLOBE program are to solving problems, to be creative, and also to explain students how to be or how to do critical analysis. And our goal, I think, as teacher, is to inclusive equality education, give opportunities for all. For that, we promote this program in all the schools in every country. And we try to training as much as possible teachers to who can implement the program at the schools, and to give examples of lessons and how to work with scientific protocols, give opportunity to collaboration. And we think that the examples that I have done are aligned between GLOBE program, quality education, and STEM. And to finish and to conclude, I wanted to say that this GLOBE program plus development goals, sustainable development goals, plus STEM is a journey to have the skills to understand through education some problems in the local and global world. Thank you so much for your attention. Thanks to the GEO to give me the opportunity to present the activity, how we work in Argentina. And now I give the presentation is going by Nadhira. Thank you so much. Nadhira is from Oman. She's the Deputy General Manager for Oman Scouts and Guides. And she's from the GLOBE region, Near East and North Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marta. And we are indeed all in this together. This is a journey, and I hope all of you who are participating in this outstanding session are really following the journey. And we had a great presentation, GLOBE in Asia and in Europe and Eurasia, and in Caribbean, in South America. And yes, I would love to really give a chance to our Professor Jabot also to welcome our next speaker. And thank you very much, Marta. That was outstanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Marta. Our next presentation is from Nadira. Marta did a wonderful job introducing her. Nadira is from the Near East and North Africa region and is in Oman. So Nadira, thank you.
Thank you. And Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Actually, I'm happy to be part again with the GLOBE, and thank you for inviting me to talk about my country. I worked with the Globe for almost 10 years. I was a country coordinator. I'm not working anymore with Globe, but I feel I'm part of this big family, and I'm happy to see you all again. So I think I'll be emotional when I'm talking about Globe because it's mean a lot for me. So Oman joined the Globe program in 2009, and that was by signing the agreement with between the Ministry of Education and the U.S. Embassy in Oman, and that's how it started between Oman and Globe program. So I add our message for Ministry of Education because I want to show how it's across with even with our goals, with our vision, and also with our message. I mean, Globe is one of the amazing program. It's helped to reach our educational goals in Oman. So it's not different than what we are doing already at the Ministry of Education for our students. It's become too complete and what we are working with, and how we are helping our students in Oman. And also I want to add that like in maybe I will focus more in gender equality, but I can add more like the SDG goals. It's now merged with everything. I mean, in everywhere, even in Oman Vision 2040, it's all also about SDG goals, and even in the education system in Oman, it's also working to reach all the most of the I mean, especially the goal number 4, but in general, we are working with all goals. So, I mean, we all doing all of this together. So next, please. So in Oman, maybe we are work differently because Ministry of Education, they are the support system, and also they are the fully sponsor the program at the country. So it's working directly by Undersecretary of Education at the ministry, and then we have a central team from the ministry working. I think it's like almost from 8 members working all together with the country coordinator Ahmed Al-Balushi, who couldn't be with us today. And then to make it easier for us, because Oman, it's not a big, but for us it's a big country. So we have a supervisors in each region, so they are working also directly with the central team to help us to continue working with all schools. And then we have teachers and schools in all over Oman, and then of course our main goal, students in everywhere. Next, please. So if I'll talk about like the numbers of students and teachers, you can see from the slide like we have like more than 3,000 students. Those students who all of them who they cross through Globe program since we started, and I mean then also the number of data. It's impressive for us because they working very hard to collecting data and submit it at the website. And I saw that's how they enjoy doing this. Our teachers 105, and they are having also workshop every year, sometimes twice a year. It depends to the number of teachers. 88 schools. It's since we began, but now we have 60 schools in Oman. So sometimes some of them they drop. We continue with the new school. So it's like different situation every year. Next, please. And we can see girls how they can create when showing how they love Globe program in every events and every gathering all together. But we are proud about them that we have 134 researches they submitted at the website through the science fair, and through we have like 2 science fair, one in Oman local and one the international, the virtual one, where they competing all other countries. So I can say that maybe 70% from all this research is doing by girls in Oman. So if I talk about this, I maybe I will not say it's about gender equality. I think it's about more opportunity for girls to show how they can work, what they can give for themselves and for the country and for the whole world through working with the environment. Yeah, I'm very proud of them, as they get award from many different levels at the country and also at the program. And can next please. Maybe if I focus about something, maybe the main idea that's maybe girls or women in Oman, they don't have enough opportunity to be everywhere or to choose what they want, even science or whatever. But I can say like there is like an equality in everything, but the opportunity it's different for many of them, and especially with the different regions, who's living in desert, who's living in mountains, who's living in the capital Muscat. So I saw by like through 10 years I worked with the Globe program. I saw how girls they want to give more, and how girls they want to work with the science. They want to discover, they want to know more every time. And in personal way, I saw how it makes them more confidence about them. I saw some of our girls, when we said that we are going on board to US, to India, wherever we participated. At the beginning, they've been very shy, they don't talk, but with the days, I saw how they get in confidence. They start to making friends, to talking with everybody. And when I'm observing all of this, I saw so we need more programs like this for the girls. It's more opportunity for them, more choices, so they can decide what they want. Some of them, they don't know even there is like a space they can be there. I met many girls. They told me, when will that was amazing. And also we participated in Kilimanjaro expedition. We've been there with boys and girls, like 15 students from Oman. They went to Kilimanjaro to climb a mountain, and that was like for us, even for me, it was like taking them. It was a big responsibility, but I saw it as an opportunity for them. Like, why not? Why not to go there? Why not to try anything? Why not to be at the lab? Why not be outdoor, measuring trees, watching clouds, and everything? So also watching them at the science fair when they are talking about their research, and I saw how they are exciting and how want to say that we went there. And I think Globe is related about outdoor, because environment is outdoor, the classes is not inside. So when they are going outdoor and they are implementing what they are learning about the Globe, that's a real life, and that's they saw the real environment, and they working directly with their equipments and with their gears, and they showing, and they being like sweating, and they being tired there. So they saw the uncomfortable zone for learning, and for to know the other ways. And I think also, as now I'm working with the Scout and Guides Oman, we are also participating many different programs, and Surface Smart, it's something, a program about learning girls about how to be smart when they are using the internet, and also about other programs. It's called Stop the Violence. So being in two places in the Ministry of Education, and bring all girls in Globe and in Oman Guides, bring them all together. And also I saw the impact, and I saw that how it's important for girls to see more opportunity for them, and not following the pattern of the community, because many times we think we think there is the only way we have to go. There is no other ways. But when they are being outside, they saw by themselves and they can decide for themselves what they want to do. So next, please. And here I bring like different photos for Oman girls and in different levels. Some of them from grade like 2 and grade 3, and the others from grade like 7 and 8. So also all of them they are enjoying, and all of them they are getting the benefit from implementing the program. Next, please. And I'm like, it's what the GLOBE program they doing, that they are working through videos through in different region, and we are lucky that they choose Oman to be part of this video. So our girls, they show how they have the strength, how they are confident when they are doing science, and especially with their families and with their teachers. And I saw how that's. Sometimes I am thinking that they don't need more empowering. They have like enough, and I'm looking to empower more now boys more than girls, because I want them to push them more to the programs and to do more. I think girls, they always like they want to do always more, and just we need to just help them and work with them. So maybe before the video I can end like, it's not about the equality, it's about show them many different options, many different paths they can take in their life, how they can special, how they can improve themselves and choose their future, but by own self. So now is the video, please. Thank you.
وبالفعل طبقنا الفكرة، وكان لمدة شهر نحن نراقب نمو النبتة المستخدمة في التجربة هذه.
حصلنا إنه يعني نغذي النباتات بالمغذي الصناعي كان له نتائج أسوأ، فكان المفروض نتائجنا أحسن، حتى كان يعني
الجذور ممتدة قصيرة.
إن شاء الله. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف الدراسة؟
زين.
وكيف المشروع؟
الحمد لله.
عن مو درستوا اليوم؟
اليوم زرنا الوادي.
حول برنامج جلوب وأهدافه في أن أشرب بعض هذه الأهداف لابنتي. طبعا أكسبهن هذه البرامج الكثير أو هذا البرنامج الكثير من المهارات المهمة، التحليل والمقارنة والملاحظة. مو السبب الأساسي، هل الجذور أم هي
أكثر شيء الجذور. لكن نحن لما جينا نسوي المحلول سوينا الجذور ومع استخدام الصيغة.
يعني عندما نتكلم عن التغير المناخي هي قضية عالمية، عندما نتكلم عن التصحر هي قضية عالمية، ولذلك هذه القضية لا يبحثها فئة معينة من الباحثين دون آخر. فقضية أن أصبحت عندنا فعلا فئة من الطالبات المبدعات في هذا المجال ويعتبر مصدر فخر لنا.
تعرفين يوم احنا صغار ترى دائما نغسل وجهنا وإيدنا من هاي
أول إفطار صحي غير أول إفطار صحي. عم نطيح. أريد يكون لي قيمة إني أنا كيف حميت بيئتي، كيف حميت مجتمعي. في الأخير لازم إن نحن حتى لو ما وجدنا الحلول على الأقل نعطي أفكار.
لأني أنا أحب أشتغل بدل ما أجلس وأشوف، فذا يعني يخليني العمل يخليني أستوعب أكثر من نظري.
وإحنا يعني في هذا العصر يعني واجد مشاكل بيئية نواجهها وكوارث بيئية، يعني إنه كفرد واحد على الأقل مثلا يعطي فكرة عشان يساعد البيئة لو بشيء بسيط وينشر التوعية، هذا شيء كبير بالنسبة لنا إحنا كطلاب.
Wow, what a wonderful video. Wow. So we will have to transition back to our slides. And while I'm doing this, I believe next would be Professor Tchaikovsky, Kevin, and I would like to ask Professor Jabot to introduce Kevin. And I will be trying to switch to the slides as we're doing that. Thank you.
Yes, our next presenter is Kevin Slakowski from University of Toledo, representing the North American region. Many of you have worked with Kevin on surface temperature, and he's going to present some of that work to us today. So thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Mike.
Excellent.
Thanks, Larissa.
Oh, no problem.
We'll get there.
Thumbs up.
You can see it.
You can see it? Excellent. And let me, yep, we're good.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention, I'm a professor at the University of Toledo, the Department of Geography and Planning, and I lead the GLOBE partnership at the University of Toledo. And so the way GLOBE operates, we have country coordinators, and you've seen several today in presentations. And then within countries, we have partnerships, and sometimes they're at universities, sometimes at schools, sometimes other organizations lead the partnerships. So I wanted to go to the next slide, and we're going to talk about the urban heat island effect. And I've been leading that. It was a research campaign for a while. Now it's an intensive observation period. And when I started this, and we started this as GLOBE, about 10 years ago, maybe more than 10 years ago, it wasn't a big issue in the minds of people. But this year has really put urban heat island at the forefront. We've had a lot of heat waves around the world, and it's really made people aware of heat is a problem. So here we have some graphics. The top one is an urban heat island showing how downtown areas are warmer than rural areas. Many of us have experienced this. The pavement, the buildings absorb sunlight and then retain that heat throughout the day. There's very little moisture for evaporation. But out in the rural areas, we tend to have more plants. We have evapotranspiration that converts some of that energy from the sun into water vapor in the atmosphere. So the rural areas tend to be cooler. One of the things we're finding, though, and I hadn't thought of this, the middle of the day, the temperatures aren't that big of a difference. It's actually more nighttime temperatures or evening where the rural areas cool off, but the urban areas retain that heat. The bottom graphic is Lucas County, and that's where Toledo is in Ohio in the United States. The red areas are warmer, green areas are cooler, and that was created by a satellite image analysis. And the built up areas, so roads, buildings, parking lots, those are the warmer areas. And actually one of the warmest areas in Toledo is where Jeeps are made. It's an auto industry or plant. So, why are urban heat islands important? Well, it increases energy consumption for electricity, for air conditioning, for instance. So electricity for air conditioning. And we've seen that in the United States this year, where there were energy was rationed during the middle of day during these heat waves. California is a really good example, but it also happened in Ohio and other places across the country. I'm not sure if this has happened around the world, but I suspect yes, that this does happen around the world, where electricity will cut out during the middle of the day when it's very hot, and then air conditioning goes out. But also, the urban heat island can lead to more emissions of air pollutants such as greenhouse gases and ozone, for instance. So it can lead to more air pollution. And then it does affect people's health. And we have seen during heat waves in the urban areas, there's an increased mortality rate. And this is many places around the world this occurs. So next slide. So in GLOBE, we have our intensive observation periods. We have students taking observations, and now even to some degree, citizens can do it as well using their phone. When we focus on this, I have the students take surface temperature with an infrared thermometer, and I have one here. They're, not too expensive. You point at the ground like the student's doing, press the button, let go of the button, and then look at the value. And then we also use a liquid filled thermometer for air temperature, so you can compare the surface to the air. And then clouds, because clouds are such an important impact on the temperature. Here in Toledo today, it's cloudy. It was supposed to be pretty warm, but with the clouds, it's keeping the temperature cooler than was expected. We've been really focused on October, December, and March. And then yesterday I was working with a group from Salt Lake City, and they asked me, why are you focused on the cooler months of the year in the Northern Hemisphere? And I said, well, it was because that's when schools were in session. We wanted to have the students to be able to participate. And of course, as GLOBE and this urban heat island campaign or intensive observation period is spread, we have the Southern Hemisphere being more involved. And so I'm thinking, and Tony, you could write this down, maybe we should include now July as another month so that we can capture the Northern Hemisphere warm period. All right, next slide. So GLOBE is really focused on having the students doing authentic science. And you've heard that from several of our other presentations. And I'm gonna show some examples of student presentations or research projects. And this student here, she looked at Croatia. So Croatia has taken a lot of observations for urban heat island. And you can see that there's a urban area and a rural area, and the schools were located in those. You could use Google Earth or Google Maps to see what the site of the school is or the observations are. And so the rural school on average was about 2.5 degrees Celsius cooler than the urban schools. And of course, on the flip side, the urban school is about 2.5 degrees Celsius warmer than the rural school. So if we go to the next slide. So the urban heat island for GLOBE addresses the SDG 11, which is sustainable cities and communities. And so one of the things that with learning about urban heat island, we can do is to try to mitigate some of the effects of the urban heat island. So those are some of the things that people are working on and starting to work on. So such as using sustainable building materials. Even the color of a roof can make an impact, or the color of pavement. Planting trees or creating green spaces in warmer areas and hotter areas can be a way to mitigate urban heat island. Now on the right, I have a map of the surface temperature observations taken around the world in the last 5 years. You can see the United States, there's been a lot throughout the United States. South America has been getting more involved, and you can see those observations there. Europe, especially Croatia, Poland, and Estonia. And then in the Middle East region, we have Israel and Saudi Arabia. India's been getting involved. Thailand, of course, has been taking a lot of observation, and Taiwan. So let's take a look at our next slide. So I wanted to highlight this project done by a high school student in Illinois in the United States, Will Guth. He looked at paving materials. And so he went out every day for a month and took the surface temperature using the infrared thermometer of these different paving materials. You see asphalt, concrete, a brick, like a permeable paver, and then oil and chip pavement. So something that's done in the United States is put down oil and then these little rocks on top of the pavement to refresh it. So if you go to the next slide, oh no, oh, so I don't, hang on, we'll stick on Will's slide here. So I'll tell you the outcome. So, Now, the permeable pavers actually in the United States are very similar to those in Europe. And I had been in Europe and took observations of surface temperature, and the pavers are cooler than asphalt or concrete. And that's what Will found as well. So the permeable pavers and the bricks were cooler, about 10 degrees Celsius cooler than asphalt and concrete, which is actually quite an impressive amount of cooling. And my hypothesis is that because the bricks have spaces between them, air and moisture is able to escape through those gaps. And then you have evapotranspiration cooling the surface, and also movement of the air. So that might be the reason. Okay, we can go to the next slide. And I mentioned countries that were adopting urban heat island as a global project for their students. The country Malta, they called their urban heat island project Cooling Down Project. They want to try to cool down their cities. And so the whole country of Malta is using globe observations to study their urban heat island. I participated, my wife's dad is from Malta, and it's a great opportunity to have an international collaboration. The time zone's a little different, so I have to wake up very early in the morning to participate in their webinars, but I'm able to do that. I wanted to show another project in the next slide. So this project was done by a summer student, Ornan Chuachart. She's from Thailand, and she was able to come to the United States this past summer. And she looked at the University of Toledo and the neighborhoods around it. So this is something that students can do. She brought together Landsat satellite imagery with the globe observations. And you can see then Q5 is quadrant 5 is in the middle. That's where the University of Toledo is, in Toledo. And then she had the 8 other quadrants around it. And she looked at the temperature, like I said, using globe observations, and those are the dots, and then the satellite. And what she found was the University of Toledo has the least vegetation and the hottest temperatures in this area. So this is something I should take to the University of Toledo's sustainable committee and talk about how do we make it cooler here. This past summer, they resurfaced pretty much every parking lot, and they're very black and very hot. And can we maybe plant some trees in the parking lots to cool things down? All right, so I wanted to thank you. And at the next slide are my contact information and Janet Struble, who helps me out. I noticed a lot of our collaborators online today. This work is also sponsored by NASA, and some of this is in a project we call Globe Mission Earth, and helping out Globe. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, Professor Tchaikovsky. And for those of you who are interested to connecting with any of our presenters today, the contact information and the materials that was presented today would be shared with all. It will be published on the UN General Assembly website with the permission of authors. As we're doing that, I would love to ask Professor Jabot to introduce our next speaker.
Our next speaker is Madame Nagose from representing the global region of Africa. Nagose lives in Senegal, and we are very excited to have her presentation today. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mrs. Ngose Palbuso. I am Inspector in Science and Country Coordinator of GLOBE Senegal in GLOBE African region. At first, I would like to thank GLOBE Office with Director Tony for my invitation to participate to the High Summit in Science for Human. I would like also to thank GLOBE Africa with Mark. I would like to thank all country coordinators in Africa, and I would like to thank very, very, very much Elias from Benin for facilitate communication with me on GLOBE. Because good communication is very important. And my challenge is I can't speak very well English. I am better in French. During this session, I try to work with this challenge. Excuse me for my English. Next. First, you are talking about global achievement in Senegal. At first, the signing of the agreement in 1995 between the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of the Environment, and NOAA. We have a big training of teachers of the sub-region in you read the number, in 1997 at ENA by the International Office Globe. We have monitoring of Globe activities in all schools, but I choose 10 active schools for monitoring. We have an edition of the first Globe Senegal newsletter in 2010 with the support of the Ministry of Environment. And in this newsletter, we put all data of Globe. And this data are used by in classroom, used in scientific, is very helpful. We organize the Globe African meeting in Senegal in 2010. We have also the participation of country coordinator in the annual meeting of Globe Africa each year. Senegal participation in 2018 in the new project called Globe Zika. Globe Zika engaging citizens in the prediction and observation of mosquito threats. And now we have study of the lack in the dry islands with an ONG called Serving West Africa in 2000. At last, our partners are Globe, UNHCR, and Serving West Africa. On this picture, I like this picture because we have Globe at left. At right, we have Globe Director of Africa at this time. Now he is Mark. We have Mrs. Busso, and in the center we have a student. All we are doing in Globe is around the student, is benefit for student. This is why I like this the program Globe. Next. Yeah, why Globe it is important in our country and as a country. At first, through experimentation, Globe improves STEAM in education. We have quality education with Globe program. You see the picture at the top. We have Globe students with computer. They compile data, analyze data for classroom, and at the down we have graph. They make a graph with their own data. And now we see if students usually use their own data, they understand very well science. And now, in some region, in some countries in Africa, we have not many resources to bring all students in Globe. Now our strategy is to choose a part of Globe, a part of students in Globe. And now I see each year the students who do Globe are better in science than students who do it Globe. With my 10 and 5 years who I teach in high school, I see when I do an evaluation, students who do Globe make only 5 or 10 minutes to make their graph. And the other students who are not doing Globe can take more time, take 20 minutes for doing graph. And I ask why. The student says that by using thermometer, by using all instruments with graduation. They have skill to make in evaluation graph quickly. This is why I like GLOBE. This is one reason we must support GLOBE for quality education. Why GLOBE is important? 2, by sending data to the GLOBE website, it strengthens collaboration between researchers and scientists. 3, it raises awareness on environmental uses. You see this picture. We say no, yes. This picture is from student. In 2005, we have flood in the capital, Dakar. Dakar now is a very big capital. All people come, and now we have not many islands for habitat. And now they go to the bad islands, the deep islands, to make their home. If you have rainfall, all water go to deep islands, and now we have flood. In this GLOBE program, we are going to the islands to say that flood is not for rainfall, but for the bad occupation of space. And now we make sensibilization to say no, and in this place, islands, we don't make habitation, but we must do agriculture. And I am here with GLOBE students to make sensibilization for a sustainable development. 4, GLOBE contributes to sustainable development goals. Next. I'm sorry for my English. Now we are talking about GLOBE Zika project. GLOBE Zika project is a very good, useful program in Senegal and around the world. Now, I don't take many time to explain the protocol. Study of mosquito already explained by the first communication in the wonderful video. So it's the same program. GLOBE is a global program. This is the same program. Next, please. What is GLOBE Observer? GLOBE Observer is a GLOBE program mobile app. The GLOBE mosquito habit mapper is on this platform, enable citizens, scientists to identify, describe, and report mosquito larvae and habits. GLOBE mosquito habitat mapper not only collects data, but participate in source of reduction and reduce risk of disease in their country. At last, GLOBE mosquito habit mapper data has practically application in municipal servers as well as mosquito vector-borne disease research. Next, Gil. Now, what we are doing in GLOBE during mosquito study. You have on the picture at the left, we have the community of Chilmaha. Chilmaha is a big region in Senegal, and in this picture we have student, teacher, partner, and director of school in training. At the down, we have the representative of US Embassy in Senegal. We have the representative of Minister of Environment. We have the trainer. We have country coordinator in training workshop. Now, training workshop, all participation has this training. We have support for GLOBE program, for material, for travel. Now, we have 6 country mosquito workshop. In 6 country workshop, Senegal are trained 155 people. In these people, we have entomological researchers, we have teachers, we have health worker, we have community worker, we have parents, we have students. And we have distributed 122 lands to participation. And after country mock workshop, all people become trainer and they do their own local mosquito workshop. And we have in Senegal 15 local mosquito workshop. And we are training 173 citizens. And we have 21 lands distributed. Here's the picture. Next. Now, the result now. We have a very good, very good population engagement. Collection of mosquito larvae and elimination of breeding sites with the Sustainable Development Goal 3, well-being and good health. In this picture at the top, you see a school garden pond containing watering water. The student understood now because they have many larvae. The student understood now that the pool must be covered to avoid the laying of mosquito. It's very important. Open air container to be disposed in Chilmaha at the down, the picture at the down. And now, with this community commitment, many breeding sites near our home has been eliminated and now well-being of population improved. Donc, Globe Observer is a good way to have well-being of population. And the other picture, you see 3 larvae identified by students. We have larvae of Aedes, we have larvae of Anopheles, we have larvae of Pilex. And now you can read the number of pictures students are sent to Globe. It's many. You have 260 Aedes, and you can read the other number. Now, what is important? If we are finished to identify larvae, they put out all breeding larvae. Next. Now, you see the number of data and the good job in our region, and particularly in Senegal. You see the total data point entered into the database for African. You have, you read the number, you have 5, 7, 2, 3, 1. I think 5,500 and more in Africa. Now you see in Senegal, you go to Senegal. In Senegal, you have 38071 data collected. Donc many data are collected by Senegal. And now I thank very well Globe for supporting our country. I thank very well the engagement of the community and the good job for students. It's very important data. Now, how the program is helping to meet country coordinator, countries' strategic development, sustainable development goal, mosquito and health and well-being. Mosquito-borne disease. We have Zika, we have malaria and another disease. But malaria was more common in Senegal. Preventive method to eradicate malaria in Senegal. We have impregnated mosquito net, we have insecticide. But the more interesting without insecticide is elimination of breeding seed. And now you see, you can read the data of Senegal. Many data are sending, and many larvae are destroyed. Next. Conclusion for our studio mosquito. Besides supporting scientific research, Globe Mosquito Habitat Mapper contribute concretely to health of community by locating and reporting the location of sending water where adult mosquitoes can lay their eggs. When the larva's habitat is found in container, such as cistern all the type, citizens must remove the standing water to the young mosquitoes count mature into sitting brain. It's a very good way to eliminate mosquito and malaria without using any chemical product. Next. Now, how GLOBE help meet the sustainable development goal? With the active participation of community in Zika project, I see that GLOBE achieve SDG 3, goal, health, and well-being. Through experimentation and data collection, GLOBE improve STM teaching and strengthens the participation of girls in STM, SDG 4, quality education, and SDG 5, gender equality, respectively. Raising awareness on environmental phenomena unfold, GLOBE contribute to SDG 11, sustainable cities and community, and SDG 15, life and hand. By sending data to the GLOBE website for research proposed, GLOBE strengthens collaboration between researchers and participate in SDG 13 climate action. Next, please. Also, GLOBE students conduct scientific research on local uses and inform their communities of possible solution and action. Through this process, and because the international nature of GLOBE, where students can communicate, meet, learn about each other and their countries, as well as collaborative researches, they learn many of the valuable skills required in science diplomacy. See the figure 1. And at the last, ultimately, GLOBE is an essential level helping achievement of sustainable development goal and should be supported all over the round. Thank you for your attention and sorry for my English.
Thank you very much, Madam Ngose. Fantastic presentation, and it was really exciting to learn about all activities in your wonderful country and the great continent. So thank you. And I would like to thank you, Madam Ngose, for speaking in foreign languages. By the way, even in this meeting, we have representatives from different continents. And I start counting languages that we all speak, and I stopped around 16. So there are, even in this meeting, people are speaking in 16 different languages. So your English is fantastic. So don't worry about this at all. So thank you again for your wonderful presentation. And with that, we are really honored to give back the floor to the Tony Murphy, who is in charge of the whole GLOBE program. And if there are any questions, we will raise it after Tony will have some concluding remarks. Back to you, Tony.
Thank you, Larisa, and thank you to all of the GLOBE country coordinators and partners who presented here today. As you can see, GLOBE is an international program, certainly, and all of the wonderful work that the GLOBE community does really would not be possible without the people who have been here today and all of the people who are around the world in GLOBE countries doing their work every day and going out and taking measurements so that they can understand what's happening in their local environment and then put that in the context of a global picture. And so it's wonderful to hear these great stories. And we've been adding links to the chat as the presentation has gone on. And if you're interested in finding out if your country is a GLOBE country, you can visit the GLOBE website at www.globe.gov. And there's a list of all the GLOBE countries in the different regions on the website. And I certainly would also like to thank Mike and Larisa for their great work in moderating the session, and to the United Nations General Assembly for inviting us to present on the great work that we do, and really looking at how GLOBE helps to meet the Sustainable Development Goals. And you heard Madam Ngozi give a summary there. And one of the important key elements there, I think, is that GLOBE is more than just science, more than just education. And it's really the combination of those, and it's used throughout the education system in courses like geography and English and other languages that students are learning in school. It's a powerful tool for getting other skills besides the scientific process, getting students interested in those and learning those skills. And in the previous slide, that circular diagram refers to some of the science diplomacy skills that are going to be very, very important, and are very important right now as we face some of the environmental problems that we're looking at solving. And so having those skills is very important, and they are clearly connected through GLOBE and in GLOBE. And we invite you to join the program if you have not. And I'd like to open the session to any questions. And again, thanks to everybody for their involvement today, and to all the audience for tuning in.
Thank you very much, Tony. Both Mike, Professor Jabot, and I, we're truly honored to be moderators, and I will give a few seconds to speak to Professor Jabot. But we would like to remind you that the session was recorded, and many of you ask how you can get access to it. So it will be published on the same website where you registered for the session. So please look in a few days after the conference is over. And also the question was how people can contact with country representatives and find out more. I believe Tony and GLOBE team provided the links in the chat room. The chat room will be saved. So if we missed any questions, we still have a copy of the chat. So and there is a possibility to really find the contact information on the United Nations General Assembly Science Summit website. So with that, I would like to give a floor to Professor Jabot, who so graciously coordinated a lot of things behind the scene with me. Thank you. Thank you all.
I just wanted to echo what Larisa and Tony had said. Thank you for attending. Thank you for all the incredible work that was shared, and really welcome any of those attendees who are not part of GLOBE to join the GLOBE family. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, we appreciate all wonderful presentations, and appreciate all of you who attended to this session. And with this, we are really happy to close this session. And on behalf of the United Nations General Assembly Science Summit, let me again thank you all for this incredible global effort. And remember that the GLOBE is one of the world leaders in environmental science diplomacy through education. We can do it together. Thank you. All right, I see a lot of waving, and thank you very much. Thank you. Be safe and be well, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
For a great
Thank
presentation.
you very much.
Thank you. It was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Recording.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. You can disconnect at this point. We just want to make sure that we have a proper goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye. Be well. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Larissa, thank you for an outstanding session.
Oh, thank you for an outstanding session. Yes, absolutely. Globe is really an amazing program. And environmental science diplomacy is really making a good progress. So we all in this, this is a journey and we're all together in this. And I see Madam Ngose is still here. So thank you very much, Madam. That was really a fantastic presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank
Sure.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And I will see you at the next session, Mike.
All right. See you in a couple hours.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.